Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? I'm FPL Root, and welcome back to the channel. So this is just going to be talking through game week 12. We'll be having a look at my team, what transfer I've made, and yeah, answering any of your questions. So it's going to be kind of an interactive stream, so leave your questions in the comments below, and I'll answer them live on air. First up, though, if you are new, please do subscribe, and smash a like on this video too, as it really does help me out. We'll bring up a few comments already. So Everton's here. Hey there, hello mate. Cheers for tuning in. Christian, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, cheers for tuning in as well. Make sure you leave your questions, your game week 12 questions, in the comment section below, and I'll answer them on stream. Everton, if anyone would like to join my FPL mini league, please let me know. Would love to have you all. Yeah, put your code in the chat, and hopefully people can join. If you want to join my mini league, it is in the description as well. So while you're there, join both of our mini leagues. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and we can all join your mini league, Everton. Rue, can you tell us the captain choice for this game week? Yeah, so we'll get onto that when I show you my team. To be honest, I think it's probably out of 3 players, so I'd probably say Haaland. I still think he is a good captain choice with Chelsea away. Yes, Chelsea obviously did beat Spurs, but for me, Chelsea are not a good team. Man City do look really good at the moment, and Haaland did get a couple goals midweek. There was some doubt around injury with Haaland, as he did come off at half-time in game week 11, but he played midweek in the Champions League. He got 2 goals. He got taken off nice and early. So for me, Haaland does start, and I do think he is a good captain option this week. Another choice would be Mo Salah with Brentford at home. Yes, Brentford are a good team, but I think Liverpool at home are just a different beast to away from home. And I think Salah has been on really good form this season. So I think Salah is a good option. Probably my third captain choice I think it's out of is Saka. But for me, I am a bit worried about the injury. I think he will start, but I think if Arsenal win him by 2-3 goals, he will get taken off straight away. So I don't think Saka is on the same level as Haaland and Salah. There are arguments for Son with Wolves away, but for me, losing Maddison's creativity, I'm just not sure. I want to see how Spurs perform first before captaining one of their players. Yeah, let me know in the comments section below who you're captaining. We'll go through my captain when I show you my team, and I'll talk about my rationale then as well. So, Christian, I'd say captain choices as well this week. Difficult one. No, it is a tough week. There's no, I'd say, clear captain choice. I think the same as last week, but last week we had 2 good fixtures, so it was kind of, we had more than enough good captain choices, where this week there's not a clear good captain choice. As I've just mentioned, there's 3-4 players that you could put it on. Watkins could even be a shout. You could even go like Martinelli if you want to go someone different in the Arsenal team. You could go Brennan Johnson could be an option, but again, you got to wait on Spurs to see how they do without Maddison. So Everton is saying, I think captain is between Watkins and Salah. Yeah, no, I do like the look of both of them. As I've said, like Salah with home fixture, he got rested midweek. Brentford are a good team, but they do concede goals, and I think Liverpool at home are a completely different beast. I wouldn't be taking, I guess, too much into, like, looking too much into the result last week against Luton. I think away from home at that ground, yes, don't get me wrong, Liverpool didn't look good at all. They looked bad, if anything. So I completely understand why people might be hesitating on Salah. But for me, I think at home they're just a different animal, and yeah, I think it was just an off day for them, and they want to go into the international break with a win and with a good performance. Watkins is a tough one because he hasn't done too well the last few game weeks, but the fixture is looking really, really good. I'll just get it up here. So yeah, Fulham at home is a really good fixture. Fulham are not been any good this season, to be honest, and the fact that Watkins hasn't delivered the last 2 game weeks, it means probably people are not really jumping on him. So it's a massive differential in terms of captaincy. So he hasn't scored since game week 9. So 2 blank game weeks with Luton at home, Forest away. It's not really what you want. Villa have scored 3 goals in them 2 games, so they didn't score against Forest away. But like I said, Fulham at home, Villa at home are a complete different animal. I know I said Liverpool were, but Villa at home are completely different, and they're a much better team than away from home. So for example, their last few away games, Forest away they lost 2-0, Wolves away they drew 1-1. Yeah, they beat Chelsea away, but then they lost 3-0 to Liverpool away. And then they lost earlier on in the season to Newcastle away. So away from home, they're completely different. And I think at home, Watkins can be a good option for captain. And I think Villa players do look good this week. So what do you think about Gordon? Cheers, Gareth, for the question. What do you think about Gordon from Newcastle as a captain? To be honest, I don't love the fixture. Yes, Bournemouth are terrible, but Bournemouth are at home, Newcastle are away. Newcastle had a midweek Champions League game. I know why you're saying this, though, because if Wilson and Isak are both injured, then Gordon will probably play up front, which does look really, really good. For me, though, I think there are better options out there. Gordon has been doing really well, and especially for his price point, but to put the captain's armband on him, I think is a step too far, to be honest. So looking back at he scored 2 goals in the last 3 games, and even before that, he's only blanked in game week 4 and game week 2. So he's blanked 2 game weeks, game week 4, game week 2, game week 10, 3 game weeks. So I completely see why people are saying that, but for me, in them game weeks, he hasn't really exploded. He got a 10-pointer against Liverpool in game week 3, and he got a 12-pointer against Sheffield United away in game week 6. But other than that, it's been 7, 8, 5, quite a few 5, 4-pointers. For me, I don't think is explosive enough. 4 goals, 4 assists is really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discrediting him as an option, but for captaincy, I think it's a step too far. You need your captain to be able to score 15, 20 points. Obviously, they might not do that. They probably won't do that. But just to have that chance, I think Gordon probably lacks. But like I said, I completely understand with Wilson's hamstring injury, not too sure if he's going to be out yet. Isak with a groin injury, he'll probably play up front. And if you want to go for it, go for it. But for me, I do think he is not the best option at the moment this game week. Christian, so transfer this week was Madders to Gordon. Very tempted on Foden to Bentancur or Johnson. Yeah, I think that's a great transfer, first of all. So I did take Madders out this week, but I'll go on to that later on in the video, in the stream. Madders to Gordon. Yeah, Gordon is a good option, but I'm not too sure on having a captain on him. I know you didn't say that, but answering Gareth's question, I'm not too sure that is a good option. But to bring in Gordon, I think it's a great pick. The amount of money you're saving as well, you can probably upgrade a few other positions. You might be able to, I don't know your team exactly, but you might be able to afford Trippier rather than have a cheaper, defender. You might be able to afford Trent. You might be able to afford a third striker and kind of alternate. So for me, I think that's a great transfer. And Gordon does look good for this week. I'm just, not sure on the captaincy pick. In terms of Foden to Bentancur Johnson, I know you're a Spurs fan, so I kind of know why you're saying that they're probably nailed now. I'm a bit worried about Bentancur. He's just come back from his ACL, which is a massive injury. I've done my ACL. I did it in school playing football, and obviously completely different. I'm not a professional footballer, but I still don't feel like 100%, and it was over 15 years ago. I did my ACL and I had the operation on it. So obviously it's completely different. He's a professional athlete, not a 13-year-old school kid playing football in PE. But ACL was not a joke of an injury. So I'm worried that he will start in game straight away. I think maybe after the international break, we could see him start in that number 10 role. But for now, I think he might play Højbjerg, Sarr and Basuma and be really, really solid. Maybe give Basuma or Sarr the freedom, or even Højbjerg. Højbjerg kind of plays a little bit further forward for his national team. So I think for this game week, I don't think Bentancur is guaranteed to start just because of that, how big that injury was. But yeah, after the international break, I think he could be a really, really good option. Brennan Johnson looks to have that left wing spot secured now. Richarlison out, Solomon out. Yes, for me, that's his spot. He's been looking really, 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 really good. Obviously, the output hasn't been there yet. He's got the odd assist, the odd goal. What did his goal get disallowed in that game? I'll just check 1 minute. But yeah, I do think Johnson could be a good option. But let me just get it up. Can't remember if that goal got disallowed. Yeah, I think it did. So he's got 1 assist, which was against Palace last time out at game week 10, so before the Chelsea game. I think he can be a good option. 5.8 million, massive differential, 0.3% owned. But for me, I think I'll just wait to see how Spurs are affected without Maddison. So I think it is a wait and see for now, especially if that's going to be for a -4. Foden, yes, it's not ideal, the game on paper, Chelsea away, but I think Spurs flattered Chelsea in the last game week, especially with 9 men. To me, Chelsea should be more embarrassed than Spurs in that game week because of how they couldn't break down 10 men. They were lost for ideas. So for me, yeah, I don't think that's a bad fixture at all. And I think even if Spurs had 10 men rather than 9, I think they would have beat them in that game. So that tells you what you need to hear about what I think of Chelsea. Everton with a question. I think Gordon could be vice captain. Yeah, why not? Who would your captain be? Let me know in the comments. So Watkins against Fulham at home. Villa have been on fire at home. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier on in the video, Villa at home are a completely different team. They're thumping teams at home. They're scoring goals. I'm not too sure. I think they were the highest scorers in the league a few games ago. I'm not too sure if they are now, but at home they're just completely different. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, their away form hasn't been great. They've relied heavily on their home form this season. They've won every home game, so that goes to show. And they're not like they've been 1-0 wins, 2-0 wins. First of all, they beat Everton in this game week 2, 4-0. Crystal Palace 3-1. Brighton 6-1. This is all home games, by the way. West Ham 4-1 and Luton 3-1. So that goes to show that they are battering teams at home, really, and they're scoring lots of goals. So yeah, I think Watkins could be a good option, to be honest. So I don't hate that pick, especially with there being no other, I'd say, clear captain choice. Obviously, you got Haaland, Chelsea away, Salah, Brentford at home. It's not clear for me. Salah is probably the best option without giving too much away, but Salah is probably the best option. But I won't say there's a lot between them, so it could go either way. So I think if you want to go for it, go for it. I don't hate Watkins at all. Everton. So for anyone like to join, this is Everton's mini league code. Yeah, so join the mini league if you wanna join this mini league or her mini league. You can also join my mini league in the description, so definitely do that. And you get to see what I scored each week, etc. Hat W, Kangaroos, yeah, up the roof. So have you used your wildcard yet? Question from Hat W. So no, I haven't used my wildcard yet. I'll go onto my team Should we just do it now? I'll go into my team now quickly. Okay. So this is my team. Obviously, you got. If you look at it like this, it's not desperate for a wild card. We'll quickly talk about that first, and then we'll go on to my team selection. So yeah, I haven't used my wild card yet. I don't think I'm desperate to use it. I probably should have used it a couple of weeks ago, to be honest. I kind of rode it out. I made a couple -4s and -8 once, and I think my team looks solid for the next few game weeks. But at the moment, I think there is like a lot of teams are very different. Like you can have a completely different team and you still have a good team. So your mate has got the completely different team and they both still have good teams. So I think at the moment there's no clear like template or direction on what the perfect team is. So for that reason, I am saving my wild card. The plan is to basically load up on kind of Man City and Brentford players, and then take them out for game week 19, and then wildcard them back in after game week 19 because they do blank in that game week. So Man City and Brentford players, I think it's because Man City have the Club World Cup, so because they won the Champions League, they get to play in that in game week 18. So for example, Man City's fixtures before that, 15, 16, 17 are Villa, Luton and Palace, and then after they've got Everton, Sheffield United, Newcastle, Burnley, Brentford, Everton. So really, really good fixtures either side of that. So a lot of people will either have to play the free hit in game week 18 or don't load up on Brentford and Man City players, and then you can kind of bench them for game week 18. So that there's a few options, but you're going to want them back in game week 19. So I think if I can wait till then to use the wild card, I think I can really, really benefit from having Brentford and Man City players pre and post that blank in game week 18. Who knows though, my team could come back with loads of injuries after the international break. It's happened before. I probably should have wildcarded before, but obviously I didn't. So I am holding out. I think my rank is actually not too bad. I've only got one green arrow this year, which is shocking because it was such a big green arrow that it's kind of, I guess it's kind of saved my season, because if I didn't have that massive green arrow, I probably would have been like 5, 6, 7 million ranked in the world. But because of that green arrow, I'm actually not too bad. I'm about 1.5 million, and with a wild card in my pocket. So I think that's a massive, massive upside for that. So we'll go through one more question. So Rue, I love the music before the channel starts. Yeah, cheers, mate. I appreciate that. A little rap, but we'll get on to my team selection. Cool. Okay, so with my team selection, I have decided to keep Onana. As you know, last week I had Onana as well, and he got me the clean sheet. So really, really happy with him and with that clean sheet, especially as other players didn't get that. So with like Turner, Areola, they obviously didn't get the clean sheet. So for me, I was really, really happy with the fact that Onana got the clean sheet. A lot of people did laugh at me for still owning Onana, but I guess I was laughing at the end of the game week when I got 7 points, and that was a massive 7 points because my team only scored 25 points. So 7 points of that coming from Onana was incredible. And I'm more than happy to play him against Luton at home as well. It's a really, really good fixture for Man United. Yes, they are very, very bad. But for me, these fixtures are kind of too good to not have, and not maybe not have, but not keep my Man United players. Like I've just had Fulham away. Then I've got Luton at home, then Everton away. So obviously after that it gets a bit tricky. So maybe we can move on Onana. But for now, our next 2 game weeks, I'm more than happy to have Onana in my team. For the defense, so Palace defender, I think a Palace defender is probably, I want to say, essential at the moment. So their fixtures do look really, really good. Gahey has been so good for me. So I bought him in actually in game week 8. He got me the clean sheet. Then obviously I benched him for Newcastle and Spurs at home. But then he got me the clean sheet again against Burnley away. And again, the next 2 fixtures, Everton at home, Luton away. Even West Ham, Bournemouth, not too bad. So yeah, really happy with Gahey. And hopefully he gets a clean sheet in this game week. Next to him, got Lascelles. So I did bring in Lascelles at 3.9 million. So over the moon that he has gone up in price. I actually haven't got any clean sheets from him yet. So I think I bought him in game week 8. And I think I benched him in 9, played him in 10, and then benched him in 11. So I haven't actually got any clean sheets from him. But Bournemouth away, I think, is a really, really good fixture. And Newcastle defensively looks so solid. Obviously, Dan Burn is now injured. So probably Livramento will play at right back and Trippier left back. Or even someone like, I don't know, even the other way around, Livramento left back, Trippier right back. So for me, I think Lascelles is a really, really good option for this week. And if you don't already have a Newcastle defender, I think bringing in Lascelles this week is a really good transfer too. Matty Cash, Fulham at home. A player that I've owned for, I'd say, a while. I'd say just before everyone else, and it got me a couple clean sheets, a couple assists. I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest. I did expect much more, especially since game week 8. So 2 blanks. Then he got an assist against Luton, he got an assist against Luton, or he got taken off early against Luton, and then he blanked in Nottingham Forest fixture. So I'm hoping for a haul for Matty Cash this game week. With him, he did come off injured last game week, and he did have a shoulder injury, but he did feature on the bench for Aston Villa in their Europa Conference League tie. So I'm hopeful he will play this game week, and I think that Fulham at home fixtures looking really good for a clean sheet, and hopefully he matches that with an attack and return. Next up, we'll go for my captain. So Salah, I've gone for Salah. Brentford at home. I think it's just the home fixture for me, and Liverpool, having not won last time out, I think they will want to go into the international break with on a winning run. I think if Diaz plays as well, now that his parents are home safe, obviously hope they're all doing okay. And what I couldn't even imagine what he must have been going through, what his parents, what his family must have been going through. So yeah, big up Diaz, and fair play for coming on and getting the equaliser last game week. But anyway, I feel Liverpool will kind of create an atmosphere for him and show him love, which will in turn kind of spark the team on and kind of light a fire under them. So I think Liverpool are going to score a few goals this game week, and hopefully Salah can be on the score sheet for a couple of them. Son, Wolves away. Son is a tricky one, so I'm more than happy to keep him. Tottenham's number 9, class as a midfielder, probably going to be on penalties now, even like as Maddison's out, so there's no debate around that. But does it make him a better option now Maddison's out because of that penalty situation? Absolutely not. Maddison is Spurs' only, I would say, maybe Pedro Porro, you could argue, but probably only, or he's definitely the best creative option in that team. And with him out, I think Son could slightly lose a bit of form. I think for now it's fine, but I can see why people are maybe taking him out because of that Maddison injury, because Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie, Richarlison, Solomon, loads of players are out. So it's going to be a patched up Spurs team in this game week. But who knows? Could that spark Son to be like, I'm the captain, we're missing all these players. Can we Can we pull out a result, go into the international break? And let's not forget, Man City are playing Chelsea away. So, like, it's not the easiest fixture. Chelsea could get a draw. You never know. I don't think they will, but they could get a draw. Spurs could go into the international break top of the league. So, I think Spurs have just got to try and get through this game week and then see where things are after that. So I think Son is a really good option for this week. And when people say captaincy choice, for me, no. I think Wolves do look solid, so no, but I don't hate it at all. I think maybe even away from home probably suits Son a little bit more, so I can see why people might be going for him. But for me, I think there are better options out there. Salah, Haaland, even maybe Saka, who I've got. Burnley at home. So Saka is a tricky one. Obviously, he is flagged. He did play midweek though, but he came off injured again. I think Arteta is ruining him, to be honest. He's overplaying him. He's not giving him any rest. There's no one else that can play on the right like Saka does for Arsenal. For me, though, I think he will play this game week. But although it is one of the easier teams, I'd say, I do think he will play this game week, and then maybe go to England and not feature. So for me, Saka is a really good option, but I wouldn't put the captain's armband on him. I know some people asked that in the chat earlier on in the stream. For me, I wouldn't put the armband on him because of that injury. Yeah, and then we've got Dingra, so the Brighton winger. He scored midweek in the Europa League. He hasn't done it in the league, but I just want him to start. I've said this many, many times. I don't care. I just need him to start, just to be in with a chance of getting a return. That's all I really want. If he doesn't start, it's no good for me. At 5 million, I don't need him to score every game week. I don't need him to get 12 pointers, 15 pointers. I just need him to start and then maybe get a goal or assist. I'm not saying I'm happy with 2 points, but at least the 2 points is a building block. And if he does get an assist, maybe it goes up to 5, maybe he gets a couple bonus, then it's 7. Then happy days. I'm not expecting the world from him. I just need him to start, and then we'll go from there. So it is a really, really good fixture. Sheffield United at home. So if he does start, I'm confident he will get a return. So hopefully he does. Next up, so a new player in my team. Welcome, Jared Bowen. So I did take out Madison, and I brought in Jared Bowen. Yes, I saved about 0.6 million. So I've got about 0.6 million in the bank. And I do like the look of Bowen for the next few fixtures. Forest at home, Burnley away, Palace at home. A lot of people, I'd say me as well, have been bigging up Bowen, which is so funny because West Ham have been so bad, but Bowen has been so good and so consistent. So we'll have a look at West Ham. They've won once since game week 4. So loss, win, draw, loss, 3 losses in a row. But if you look at Bowen's returns, 7 goals, 1 assist. And they've played some tough games. So they've played Chelsea, Brighton, City, Liverpool, Newcastle, Villa. Brentford away is tough as well. So it's not like they've had an easy run in. And I'm hoping for the next few games he can keep that up and keep scoring against the lesser teams. But yeah, I'm really happy with that transfer. Obviously, I'd rather keep Madison if he was fit, but I think it's a one of them transfers that's a bit of a no-brainer. So for me, I brought in Bowen from Madison. If you are taking out Madison this game week, let me know who you're taking him out for in the comment section below. Before we go on to the forwards, we'll just quickly bring up a few comments. So Gareth, cheers for that. Yeah, no worries, mate. Hat W. So 3 months no Maddie is rough as. Yeah, as I was just saying. Well, I'll take a sip of water for this because it's going to be a long one. As I was just saying, it's a massive loss for Tottenham. I'm sure a lot of you know I am a Spurs fan, and it's a massive loss for Spurs. His creativity, he's replaced Christian Eriksen, who we sold 4 or 5 years ago. So we haven't had a player like it for 4 or 5 years. Set pieces, even the the energy he brings on the pitch, the leadership he brings on the pitch as well, is something I think Spurs are going to miss. So it's a massive loss for Spurs and for FPL as well. He was a really, really good option, chipping in with them goals, assists, making things tick for Son. So I think he's going to be a massive miss. Hopefully it's a little bit less than 3 months. I know they said 1 to 3 months. Hopefully he's back in the new year. But even then, it's going to be a big struggle for Spurs. For that creativity is the thing for me, and there's no one there that can do what he does. So maybe Ange will have to find a different way of playing. Maybe we'll be more counter attack, more get the ball into Son, get the ball in behind. But the only thing I'm worried about is if teams do sit back with a low block, breaking them down is going to be a tricky one. So I think it's rough as you said, and it is a rough one for Spurs and for FPL. I guess the good thing for FPL is there are other options there. So like I bought in Bowen. You've got Saka around the same price, Martinelli. You could even go to Gordon. So there are midfield options. So it's not too bad for FPL because there are other options there. But yeah, for Spurs, it's horrendous. Another question from Hat. Yeah, we're watching the Spurs game. So I'm sure a lot of you know I'm in Australia. So it is a bit difficult to watch Premier League games live sometimes. So for example, the 3 p.m. kickoffs in the UK are about 1 a.m. here in Australia. This game is obviously a 12:30 p.m. kickoff in the UK, so it's 10:30 p.m. here in Brisbane, in Australia. I'm not in Brisbane, but just south of Brisbane, in the Gold Coast, in Queensland. So it is a good time. So I'm excited to watch the game, to watch Spurs. Hopefully, Son can deliver. I think it will be an exciting game as Wolves play some decent football nowadays. I'm interested to see Spurs' lineup. For me, I'd probably say it would be Vicario, Porro right back, Eric Dyer, Ben Davis centre back, Emerson Royale left back, Bissouma, Sarr. I think Højbjerg will get the nod. And then Brennan Johnson, Son, and Kulusevski. So the forward line looks solid. The midfield looks solid, to be honest. It's just obviously the creativity from Maddison, but the defence is shocking. Let's not talk about the defence. But yeah, I'm excited to watch the game, and it's at a good time for me here in Australia and in the Gold Coast. Christian, I get what you mean regarding Bentancur and Johnson, just itching to have the Spurs triple up, even though I know I should wait. No, I'm with you. But the thing is, I think fans. I know sometimes fans might think that, am I just itching? And put it in your words, am I itching because I support this team? Am I being a bit deluded? But I think it's the other way as well. I think fans are first to see something good. So I bought in Son in like game week 4 when he's blanked in 3 game weeks, but I knew the fixtures were good. Maddison was a doubt for that next game week, which I probably would have gone Maddison, to be honest, if he wasn't a doubt. But Maddison was a doubt, so I thought, okay, I can't bring him in. For me, Son playing up front, the next 3 fixtures were really good for Spurs. And obviously he started with the absolute mega haul against Burnley away when no one had him, like no one had Son. People had Maddison, okay, but no one had Son. So I kind of, I guess, saw that as a Spurs fan, because I was like, well, Son has been shocking this season, but the 3 fixtures he's playing up front, he's going to continue to play up front, whereas the rest of the FPL community were like, oh, is he going to stay up front? Is Richarlison going to play there? For me, I kind of knew he was going to stay up front. There's no way Richarlison was taking his spot, even though actually, I think at the time Richarlison was playing number 9, but he wasn't doing great. And then I felt like Son was going to come in and play up front. So I kind of saw that as a fan. So it can go either way. I think if you want the Spurs triple up, just go for it. The game's about fun. There's nothing like your team doing well and you owning the players. So I think go for it, mate. Why not? We'll bring up the rest of the the rest of my team, so the forwards. So yeah, so obviously the two City boys, I say this every game week, the two City boys, Haaland and Alvarez, Chelsea away. Really happy with Alvarez, to be honest with you. I know he hasn't done it the last few game weeks, but overall I'm really, really happy with him. Let's bring up his points. So blank, Bournemouth at home, Man United away. Then a 9-pointer, then a blank, then an 8-pointer, then a blank, then a 9-pointer, then a 14-pointer. And I did jump on him very early, so I did get a few of these hauls. I am happy to keep Alvarez. He was benched midweek, so he was rested. I think he will start against Chelsea. I think he's a definite starter, at least until De Bruyne comes back. So yeah, happy with going into Alvarez this game week. Haaland as well. You could argue Haaland's had a drop in form, even though he's just scored 2 midweek and he's got 2 against Man United and an assist. Then he got 1 against Brighton, so he scored 3 goals, 4 attacking returns in his last 3 game weeks. So Haaland's on fire still on fire. He's played 11 game weeks, 11 goals, 2 assists, and one of them he came off at halftime. So for me, I'm happy with keeping Haaland and going in with Haaland against Chelsea away. We'll go through the bench. If you are new to this stream, please make sure you give it a like, because it really does help me out, and subscribe to the channel. The bench, Turner. A lot of people will probably be starting Turner this game week, maybe, or Areola, but they're playing each other. I'm happy with Onana Luton at home. Turner has lost his place now, though, which is something to take into consideration. It looks like he's lost his place. I think he's lost his place, to be honest. He did get dropped last game week, and the goalkeeper that came in, I can't actually remember his name, did pretty well and kept a clean sheet against Aston Villa. So I think he's lost his place. So for me, I probably wouldn't be starting Turner this game week. Tsimikas, so Brentford at home, first on the bench. This is a tough one. I bought him in last week, and obviously he got benched, and I ended up benching Lascelles, who got a 9-pointer. So that was annoying, but I think my 3 defenders are better than Tsimikas. I don't want him. I don't even want to think about him not starting and coming on for a 1-pointer. I really don't want to think about that. So for me, it's just not worth. It's not worth the stress, to be honest with you. Yes, he's probably more attacking than Guéhi and Lascelles, but I think the fixtures are better for Guéhi and Lascelles. I think they're probably better defenses as well. Palace and Newcastle. And Tsimikas played midweek in the Europa League, so it doesn't look good for me. There was something that came out from Klopp to say that Trent could play in midfield. So that would mean Joe Gomez right back, Tsimikas left back, which could be an option. But for me, I just don't want that headache. It's not like he's a flying fullback that gets assists, gets goals. Obviously, he hasn't played this season, so it's hard to kind of show this. But I don't think let's look at his expected goals and assists. Then expected goals against Forest, because he played 90 minutes. Yeah, so expected goals was 0. Expected assists was 0.2. Everton 0 for goals, 0.18. Expected assists. Obviously, he didn't play before that, but for me, I just don't want that headache of thinking, is Tsimikas going to play? So yeah, he's staying on first on my bench. Kabore, Man United away, could be a good fixture. He did get an assist, and he was sitting on my bench last game week, which is annoying. He's actually got a few assists this season. He's got 2, both on my bench. I've played him a few times as well because I've needed him, but he's either been benched or blank. So yeah, he's staying well on my bench. And Mubama, I don't even think he's played a minute all season, has he? No. So that was a good pick. Dropping in price, keeps dropping in price. So 4.3 million now. Lost 0.2 million on him, but yeah, just sitting rotting on my bench. But yeah, that's my team. I'm really, really happy with it. Leave your comments below and I'll answer them on this stream. Let me know who your captain is, what your transfers are as well, and let me know where you're tuning in from. As obviously it's a bit early in the UK. It's 7:42. Here in Queensland in Australia, it's 5:42. So it's a little bit different. I'm having my evening while you're just waking up a bit early. Let me know as well if you're from anywhere else in the world, as I'm interested to see where people are. Who knows? I might come to your country one day and you can show me around what locals do, and we can chat FPL, maybe catch a game. So yeah, let me know where you're from in the comments section below, and we'll answer a few questions. So Everton with a question. My cap would definitely be Watkins, and tempted to go with Haaland, but Chelsea against big teams have done well. That's true, yeah. We'll talk about that first. So Chelsea have done really well against big teams this season, to be honest. Liverpool, they did well. Spurs, obviously, they did well. Arsenal, they did well. They should have won that game. So yeah, I completely understand what you mean. The only other alternative I can think of is Salah against the Bees. I actually agree. I think Salah is a good option this game week, and I really do like Brentford, but I don't know if they're the best defensively away from home, and I think Liverpool are much better at home. Salah got rested midweek. I think Salah is the best captain option this game week. I think Watkins, if you want to go for a punt, or even Haaland, I think they're all kind of. If I had to put them in a percentage, I'd probably say 50% Salah, 25% Haaland. Not even that, probably 20% Watkins, and then 5% maybe someone like Son. I think Haaland and Salah may be a little bit closer, but yeah. Hat W, you should. I don't know what you're saying here, but I appreciate that comment. Christian, Bentancur also lives rent-free in my head after that epic skill move in the World Cup against Korea too. Yeah, fair enough. He is. What a player he is. He's like a lot of people have said this, but he's like Berbatov, a centre mid version of Berbatov. His touches, the way he kind of runs with the ball, the way he dribbles, the passes, he does remind me of a centre mid Berbatov. And although this season we probably haven't missed him, I think last season we really did miss him, and I'm excited to see him in this Ange team. Hopefully he does play kind of number 10 and he does become an option, because even under Conte, he was playing left wing quite a lot, I'd say. Maybe not quite a lot, but he used to go there maybe where Kulu wasn't fit, or when Kulu came off, he'd go there. So I think he can play further forward, and he does have the ability to do that. So yeah, I completely see why. Perhaps if Nketiah plays, he could be captain against Burnley. Is Nketiah carrying a slight knock? We'll get up Nketiah here. I'll just go to a few. So we'll get him up. Yeah, he's carrying a slight knock. I thought so. I'm not too sure if he's going to be fit for this game week, to be honest. So I think it's not worth taking that risk. I think if you are going to go for an Arsenal option, then maybe Saka. But again, I don't think it's worth that risk. He is carrying a knock as well. So I think I'd probably stay clear of Arsenal. But if you wanted to go for a punt on Saka, Nketiah and Martinelli, then it is a great fixture, and it's at home as well. We saw them just thump Sheffield United 5-0 at home. So yeah, I don't think that's a bad shout if you do think he's going to play. Hat W, you should start a broadcast channel. Let me know what that is. Oh wait, on Insta. Okay. Well, I don't know what that is. Drop me a message on Twitter and let me know what's a broadcast channel on Insta, or if you know, leave it in the comments below. That sounds good. Hat W, good plan. Cheers. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hat W, when are we getting merch? If that's something you lot want to see, then I'd love to make some merch. I've been thinking about doing a few football kits. I think, or for me, it makes sense. A little FPL Roo, or even just Roo FC, with a little kangaroo and naming that on the back. Let me know if you'd be interested in that in the comments below. I'd like to wear it for myself anyway, to be honest. So maybe I'll just make one and see if anyone wants one. I can send them to you. And if you want one, I'll send one to you as well. Yeah, why not? Everton's just joined my mini league. Cheers, mate. If you do want to do that as well, it's in the description below. So just join up. You'll see where you'll probably be above me in the league at the moment, but it doesn't matter if you're above me now. It matters if you're above me in game week 38. So yeah, if you want to join my mini league, yeah, it's in the description below. A few more questions here. This time, FPL is very unpredictable. Just never know who's going to take points. 100%. And last week was a big showcase of that. And the fact that we all had amazing teams. Liverpool had Bournemouth. City had Bournemouth. Liverpool had Luton, and shocking. I've seen some people. Like I've seen like friends on Twitter. I don't want to bait them out, to be honest, but I've seen friends on Twitter that have got like a 14-pointer, 15-pointer. How their team was really good. Like it's just mad. Like you just don't know where points are coming from at the moment. But it's funny. It's like we've been asking for people to have different teams. We've been asking for differentials. And now we've got them. It's like, oh, it's hard to know who's going to score points. So I think it makes it fun. I think that's why you just got to play your own game. Yes, have conversations with people. Drop your comments in here. Use me as like a soundboard if you want to ask me what's going through your head. Ask my opinion, and sweet. But that's why you just got to pick your own players, because there's no right way to play this game. You can finish above someone and can play a completely different game, or you could maybe go 5 at the back with Trent and Trippier and Reece James and Pedro Porro and Kyle Walker. Like you could do that and still get enough points and beat someone that maybe has Matoma in midfield or Bowen and etc. So you just got to play the game you want to play it. Like Christian said a little bit earlier, he just really wants that Spurs triple up. That is because Christian is a Spurs fan, so that's what makes it fun, I guess, is having players from your own team, having players you like to watch. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be probably watching these players and hoping they do well, and you'd rather see a player that is a little bit exciting. So you just never know where the point's going to come from. So that's why you just got to pick your own players. Is Virgil Liverpool starting? Yeah, I think he's starting. Why wouldn't he be starting? I think, yeah, he came through last game week unscathed. So I can't see why he wouldn't be starting. Did he get injured midweek? I must have missed that if he did. Have a quick search now and let you know. Okay, he missed the Toulouse trip. Yeah, for me, I don't think that's a long-term injury. I think it's probably give him a little rest. Yeah, so for me, I would say Virgil's probably going to start, but yeah, keep an eye on Twitter and see if anything else comes up. I think that was probably just a resting earlier on for the Europa League game, as Liverpool have had a lot of fixtures already this season with the Europa League. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on Twitter, but I think he will start. Next up, Yaya, Arsenal. Well, Kieran Trippier takes penalty kicks now after Wilson is out. I think that's a good point. Could he take penalty kicks now Wilson is out? I think there is a possibility he could. He's took them for England before, and he's done. Yeah, he scored. So that is a good question. I think potentially he could. Gordon could though as well. Joe Linton, I think, could be an option. So you don't know obviously, but I'd say there is a chance that Trippier could take penalties now Wilson is out. Jack, got a question. Considering either Trent captain or Haaland, Højlund, and captain Højlund, which would you choose? I would not be taking out Haaland, to be honest with you, especially for Højlund. He hasn't scored a Premier League goal. Yes, the fixture is incredible, but Man United, for me, yes, they scored 3 midweek, but for me, they haven't shown enough to say that they're gonna batter Luton. Luton almost kept a clean sheet against Liverpool, who are a much better attacking team. So I think don't take out Haaland for Højlund. Trent captain, for me, I don't think he has. We'll just get up his information here, but I don't think he's shown enough this season to suggest that he is the Trent of old. Yes, he does look good, but he hasn't put up them assists or them goals to suggest that he can do it like that. Obviously, he's kept the clean sheets, but one assist. Yes, he's missed a few games, but he's still started 8 games. So 1 assist, 8 games. For me, there's no way I'd be captaining Trent with that sort of return. You're kind of maximum getting an assist, maybe a clean sheet. For me, I'd go for an attacking player, and I wouldn't do Haaland to Højlund. Christian, I think with Madders out, Basuma becomes a creative influence unless Bentancur starts. Yeah, that is an interesting comment. I don't disagree, to be honest. I think Højbjerg could play, and like I said, he's done it for his country. He's played that attacking role. He kind of looks like a number 10 for his country, Højlund. So, not Højlund. I got him on my head now. Højbjerg. So I think yeah, any of them, even Sarr could be the creative influence. But I like the look of that. Basuma, be that creative influence. Also, again, I don't know if I'm clutching at straws here. Let me know in the comments. But Basuma is on 4 yellow cards, right? So he obviously did get the 5th yellow card against Luton, and then he got sent off. So that means the fifth yellow card was scrapped, and it was a red card. So he's still on 4 yellow cards. So 1 yellow card, and he misses another game. So let's think about this from a Postecoglou and a Basuma and a Spurs point of view. You're playing Basuma in this game against Wolves. Chan is coming at you, running at you. Basuma's a defensive midfielder. He makes a tackle, gets the yellow card, misses the next game. Like, can Spurs risk that? So for me, again, I might be clutching at straws. Let me know in the comment section below. But if Basuma does become that creative influence, then is he less likely to get the booking and play the next game? That you could be onto something there. Let me know in the comments if you think I am clutching at straws. So yeah, maybe that could be a little way why Basuma does play a little bit more attacking. Just a quick one before we move on to the rest of the comments. If you are new on this stream, please make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel. As Thomas here says, nearly at 1K subs. So if I could get to 1K subs, hopefully before the end of this deadline, that would be great. So if you can, go onto my Twitter at FPLRU and share my latest tweet with this live stream. That would be really, really helpful, and I would really appreciate it. So hopefully we can get 1K subs, and hopefully we can do it before this deadline. That would be great. Cheers, Thomas. Thanks for tuning in. So next question. So do I sell Saka? A lot of people have been selling Saka. I've seen it this week, and a lot of people have been bringing in Saka. So it is a tricky one. It could go either way. For me, we'll just bring up so he's under 50% owned. For me though, I would not be selling Saka. Yes, he came off injured. Yes, he's been carrying a knock for a while. Arteta has overused him. Arteta has run him into the ground. He's played a lot of minutes since he was young, to be honest, not even just this season, since he was young. And I think it's catching up to him, to be honest with you. But I would not be selling Saka. Yes, there is always a risk that one, he doesn't play. He obviously come off injured midweek, but he come off injured midweek, so there is a chance that he doesn't play. But I've seen a video of him walking fine, and I think he will play, to be honest. But the only other thing is you need to consider is if Arsenal are 2-3-0 up, is Saka coming off? If that's 65 minutes, maybe you're only getting 65 minutes from Saka at best. So, but for me, long term with Arsenal's fixtures, there's no way I'd be selling Saka. Burnley at home, if he does play that, I think he will. Even if he doesn't, you've got Brentford away, Wolves at home, Luton away, Villa away. Okay, then some tougher fixtures. But for me, there's no way I would be selling Saka this game week. So next question. So why is Tsimikas possibly not starting? So he didn't start last game week. So they played Joe Gomez left back and kind of went to a back three with Trent pushing forward. So there's always a chance that could happen. Also, I think that that could be an option. And he did play midweek as well, which is something that I don't like the look of. I want my players to be rested for their European games, nice and fresh. So for that reason is why I haven't started Tsimikas. In terms of Liverpool, if you mean just Liverpool in general, I think because it allows Trent to be more attacking. Robertson wasn't the Robertson of old. He wasn't bombing forward. He was dropping to make that back three most of the time, I'd say, allowing Trent to bomb forward. So I think it's always a risk with Tsimikas. Hopefully, though, he does play, as I do have him in my team, but I've benched him. But who knows, I could need him off the bench. For me, though, for my team, I just don't want that stress or thinking, is Tsimikas going to start? I know Gahey's going to start. I know Lascelles is going to start. I know Cash is going to start. But for me, that's worth more than anything. And it's not like Tsimikas is racking up them assists and goals. So for that reason, I haven't started Tsimikas, and there is a possibility he doesn't start for Liverpool as well. Quinton, hello mate. Everyone go check out FPL Amateurs of Oz on Twitter, on podcasts as well. Really good podcast, Australian. If you want to listen to the Aussie accent, then Quinton is a good one for that. And FPL Amateurs of Oz, definitely check them out. Madison to Matoma, Martinelli. Yeah, I think that's a good move. I went Bowen. I don't know if you were here for earlier on, but I went Bowen. I think you've probably got Bowen, so I think both good moves. Martinelli, obviously, you're gonna run the risk of Trossard starting there. Even Havertz could come into play, or even Jesus if he's back anytime soon. So there is always a chance in Martinelli, but he looked really good midweek, so I can see why you would maybe bring him in. I think Matoma is probably more secure for the next few game weeks, although Brighton haven't looked at their best, to be honest. Matoma has been getting them assists and has been looking okay, but I think Martinelli, if you want to take that punt, if he plays, he could get a hat trick. Let's be honest, he could get a hat trick. Whereas Matoma, although it is a good fixture, I don't think Brighton are the same as they were last season. I think the European outings have been a little bit taxing on them. But like I said, Matoma still delivered when he's played. Assist last game week. Obviously, just come back from injury, and before that, they've had some tough games as well. So for me, I'd probably go with Matoma if you want someone a little bit more secured for the next 2 game weeks. But Martinelli is a really good punt this game week, I think, if he does start. But we never know with Arteta, do we? So GMT +2. So what's that? Are you in like Europe somewhere? Evan Ferguson is my captain, rolling the transfer. Yes, love that. I'm sure Quinton, if he's still here, would love that too. So Quinton calls him Fergalicious. We have a look at Ferguson here. I think he's such a good player. We'll talk a bit on Ferguson. He's such a good player. He's a clinical finisher. I think he is Brighton's number 9 now. I don't think there's any doubt with Welbeck or a few, and Ciso could kind of play there. I don't think there's any doubt anymore. I think he's clear. The only thing is obviously midweek and European football is coming to play, but I think Ferguson does start the Premier League games and captain. Why not? Sheffield United at home. Brighton are due a performance, to be honest. If we have a look at their last few game weeks, so they haven't won since game week 6. And it's not like, okay, they've been tough games, so I completely understand that. But it's not like Ferguson. It is a tough one. It is a tough one because their fixtures have been tough, and you just got to rely that the good fixtures are going to help them change their form. Having said that, though, Fulham at home, Everton away, really good fixtures, and they didn't turn it around. So, for me, Brighton are due a big performance, and this could be the game week they score 4, score 3. And yeah, Ferguson is amongst that. That's a really good captain pick. Quinton, captaincy pick is Salah, but Watkins, Højlund are interesting. What would you do? I'd go Salah. I do think Watkins is a good option, especially Villa at home. If Villa are away, then not for me, to be honest. But with Villa at home, I think they're a different animal. We'll quickly get up their information. So they've won every game at home. Watkins obviously scored 5, 8 assists. But let's not forget, I know it still counts, whatever, but let's not forget, 3 goals, 2 assists were in one game against Everton. So if we do take out that game, it's only 2 goals and 6 assists. So 2 goals for the rest of the season he's got. For me, I don't think that's consistent enough and enough to warrant me putting the armband on him. So for me, I think Salah is the better option this week. Yes, you could argue it is a harder fixture, Brentford, but Salah is a better player. And with midfielder, you get more points. You get the clean sheet points. 8 goals, 4 assists for Salah. Just look at them double-digit hauls, which is what you're looking for with captaincy pick. You're looking for double digits. 7, 8 pointers are good, but you want them 10+ pointers. And he's got them in a few games this season, in 4 games, 10 against Wolves, 10 against West Ham, 15 against Brighton and 16 against Everton. So for me, I think Salah is clear in terms of captaincy pick for this game week. Just clear, though. I wouldn't say clear, but just clear. And I think the next best is Haaland, and then followed by Watkins. Højlund, he hasn't scored a Premier League goal. Yes, he's looked good in other competitions, but I just don't trust Man United. Even though I've got Onana, I don't mind their defence. I just don't trust them going forward. But who knows? If you do hit that Højlund haul, this is the game week to hit it because it's Luton at home. You're not going to have a better chance of Man United scoring a few goals than Luton at home. So if you do want to go for it, completely understand. I know you're a United fan as well, so that might come into play. D, Oslo, Norway here. First time checking out your stream. Hey D, welcome. What's it like in Oslo? You gutted about Haaland not winning the Ballon d'Or. Also, I've heard is it the FPL is really, obviously not FPL, but the Fantasy Premier League is really good in Norway, right? Let me know below in the comments. I've heard you've got some really good chips there. I think it's Norway, but yeah, let me know if I'm wrong. With Madison out, is Brennan Johnson or Bentancur an option? To be honest, I think Brennan Johnson is a good option, I'd say. 5.8 million. He's got that spot on lock, left wing. Solomon's out. Richarlison's out. So I do think Brennan Johnson is a really, really good pick. But when I say good pick, I mean, is he going to start? Yeah. So yes, I think he will start for the foreseeable future. Is he a good pick? Let's break this down a little bit. So we'll break down both of them. Yeah. So is a Tottenham player, not Son, a good pick? The fixtures, we'll look at the fixtures. So Wolves away, Villa at home. Okay, not bad. Villa concede goals away from home. Man City away, tough. West Ham at home, Newcastle at home. Then they've got Forest, Everton, Bournemouth, Brighton as well in there. So for me, it's a mixed bag of fixtures. The next two look okay. Then the next three could be tough. Then after that, it looks really good too from game week 17 onwards. So let's say fixtures are okay. Not sure if I'll double up, but the fixtures are okay. Now we look at Johnson and Bentancur. For me, Johnson at 5.8 is a good pick. I'm just not sure I would double up on Spurs at this moment. So if you don't have Son, then I think Johnson is a good pick. Bentancur, I think he will start in that number 10 role eventually. I just don't think he's ready to start at this moment. He's just come back from his ACL. He's done his ACL, which is not a joke of an injury. Like, it's a serious injury. I was saying earlier on in the stream that I did it when I was a kid playing football. And to this day, I still feel a bit dodgy in my knee, and I still don't really trust it. Obviously, he's a Premier League professional footballer, so let's not try and compare a 13-year-old FPL Roo to a professional footballer. So let's not do that. But it's not a joke of an injury, and I don't think he will be rushed back. I think 20 minutes off the bench here, 30 minutes off the bench there, fair enough. But to start in a team that is depleted and he's going to be asked to do a job and to be that creative influence in the middle of the park, I think it's a little bit too soon from him. After the international break, then I could definitely see him starting. But I think for this Wolves and the fact that it's away, this Wolves game, I can see Højbjerg starting, who's had some minutes all season coming off the bench. He even played when Basuma got the red card, so he is, I guess, match fit. Bentancur, I'm not too sure he is going to be match fit in order to start a game just yet, and I don't think they'll want to rush him because of how serious the injury was. So I think this next game week, I think it will be Højbjerg, Basuma, and Sarr. And as Christian was saying earlier in the comments, I think Basuma could be the creative part of that midfield, or even Højbjerg, who's done it for his country. So the long and the short of it is, I think Brennan Johnson is a good pick. Bentancur, I'd wait. But I'm not sure if I'll double up on Spurs at this moment if you do have Son. Because you never know. You don't know how Maddison's creativity is going to affect the team as a whole. Not only that, he was a leader on the pitch. He was telling people what to do, shouting, and being that real leader. So I just don't know how that's going to affect the Spurs team in terms of creativity. Also, obviously, the defense is gone. Van der Ven's out for a few months. Romero's red card, Doggy's red card. So defense is completely gone, which I guess can affect their creativity too. Playing out from the back, putting them balls into midfield, it can affect it too. So I think I'd wait and see for double up on Spurs and for Bentancur. Quinton, yeah, Bentancur occupied an advanced position a lot of the times last season. No, 100%. Obviously, last season was a bit different because obviously we're playing 5 at the back or 3 at the back, depending what way you want to look at it. And it was Basuma, well, not Basuma, it was Bentancur and who was it? Bentancur and Højbjerg in midfield. I can't remember now. I'm trying to forget the Conte days, to be honest. So let me know in the comments. Was it Bentancur and Højbjerg? But yeah, Bentancur sometimes did play that right wing spot if Cooley was injured, or even played kind of number 10-ish if Cooley or Son was injured and we had to play 2 up front. So he can play for the forward, and he's got the ability. His technical ability is second to none. I think personally, he's a runner as well, and I think he's a good finisher. So I think he can play in that advanced position. I just don't know if he's ready to be starting games after coming back from an ACL injury. Christian, seen a few on social media going Madison to Kudus. Not a bad move either. Yeah, I think that's a good move, to be honest. I think you could be getting ahead of the trend, but there's always a worry that. Okay, let me restart that because I don't want to discredit Kudus because I think he's an incredible player. 6.5 million as well. Obviously got the goal and assist last time out. Got a goal in game week 8 as well. But the thing with me is I think I'd rather pay that million and get Bowen. I think Bowen is going to play 90 minutes. Obviously, Kudus played 90 minutes in the last 2, but before that, he wasn't starting at all. So there's always a chance that he doesn't finish the game or he doesn't start the game. But I do think he is a really, really good option. Like, he's a baller. He's playing kind of number 10. He could even play in number 9. So if Antonio starts and he gets knackered, Kudus can go up front and they'll bring on someone else to play in that number 10 role. So I do think he's a good option. For me, though, I think the safer bet is going Bowen, but I do like Kudus too. And yeah, there's definitely worse picks out there. So is Bowen a good differential captain choice? He would be. This question is from Glenn. So he would be a good differential captain choice. I have him in my team, and he's nowhere near being my captain. So I don't know if that says anything to you, but for me, like with Bowen, I don't think he's got that hole in him. We'll have a look at his scores this season. Like I said earlier on in the stream, for me, if I'm captain player, I want him to have that double-digit haul in him, and Bowen doesn't really have that. Yes, game week 3 he got that, but other than that, it's been under 10 points. And for me, I want my captain to. Okay, he's not going to guarantee to score double-digit haul, but I want him to have the ability to do that. Whereas Bowen, I'm not too sure he does. I don't know if West Ham score enough goals for him to do that. I'm just looking here, and I don't think they've scored. They've scored over 3 twice. Well, they scored 3 twice this season, which was game week 2 and 3. Other than that, I don't think they score enough goals, to be honest. And Forest looked good against Villa last time out. Yes, it was at home. Forest were at home, but they'll be going into this game with confidence, having beat Aston Villa 2-0 in the last game week. So for me, Bowen is a nice player, but for captain, no chance. But obviously, do what you want to do. If you think he's a good option, go for it. Hey, Guy, how's it going? Cheers for locking in. Watkins is your captain. Yeah, I was just saying that he is kind of going under the radar. I think that the 2 blanks have annoyed people, and sometimes with that, it's a good thing because they're not going to be looking to captain him. So it could be a good option. As I was saying, Villa are so much better at home. Away from home, I don't think they're that good. They've won every single home game. They've scored a lot of goals in their home games as well. But I was just saying a little bit earlier that outside of that Brighton game, he's only scored 2 goals. For me, that's not good enough. 11 game weeks, let's say 10 game weeks, he scored 2 goals. Yes, it doesn't matter when he scores his goals, but if you look at the average of how many goals he's scored per game, sort of thing, he's only scored 2 goals in 10 game weeks. So for me, I don't trust that from Watkins. He's not on penalties either, so that's what's putting me off. But the fixture's obviously really, really, really good, and Villa are really good at home. So it can be a good option, but for me personally, I like to, 1, have my player on penalties that I'm captaining, and 2, have a bit more consistency in terms of scoring points. Yes, maybe I sound a bit like a hypocrite because I've just said that Bowen is consistent but doesn't get hauls, but you kind of want both, to be honest. And I think Salah is a better captain option this game week, but I don't hate Watkins at all. Do you think Tsimikas will start? Cheers for the question, Michael. I don't think he will start, to be honest. I think he started midweek. I know Gomez started as well, but I don't think he will. I think maybe if Van Dijk's out. So I've heard someone say that Van Dijk could potentially be out. That's not in the know. That was just someone that commented on this stream. So if Van Dijk's out, Gomez could go centre back. Then Tsimikas could go left back. For me though, I'm not playing him in my team. I'm not ready for that headache of will he play, will he don't play. If you don't have anyone else, then I would play him. I wouldn't tell you taking a -4 for him. I wouldn't be using a transfer on him. So if you do have him and you don't have 3 better defenders, then I would play him. So with my team, quickly go to it here. With my team, I have 3 better defenders, so I'm not playing him. But if you do need to play him, then play him. Obviously, Gahey, Lascelles, and Cash are better for me personally. So, but I don't think he will start. Afe, good content, new subscriber here, about 960 overall rank. Wow, that's incredible. Join my mini league. It's in the description below. I'd like to see how you get on this season. That's great. Let us know any tips as well. I'd love to be 960 rank. Quinton, so to be fair, Nunes was the reason why Liverpool didn't batter Luton. Yeah, that's fair enough. I actually really like Darwin Nunes, to be honest. I know he misses a lot of sitters, and maybe I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I don't really like Nicholas Jackson because he misses a load of sitters. But barring obviously the Spurs game, Darwin does score a lot of goals that I think he shouldn't be scoring. Some of his finishes are incredible, so I think he's hit and miss in terms of finishing. But yeah, that's a fair point. But I think, to be honest, I know what you're saying, but I think Liverpool was shocking, to be honest, on that day. I think Salah was bad, Jota was bad, Nunes was bad. So I think they had a bad day all round. So I don't think you could blame Nunes, but he did miss some sitters, to be fair to him. Alf Wildcard FPL, what's up, Rue? What's up, mate? Cheers for locking in. Let me know any questions below and who you're captaining and transfers. Glenn, so I don't think Salah will get big returns against Brentford. Yeah, no, I think that's fair enough. It's your opinion. Brentford are a good team. I'm not discrediting that. I just think Liverpool at home are a very good team, and I can't see them going into the international break kind of dropping another 2 points. And I think Salah is due a good performance. He was stinky against Luton, and I can see Salah doing well. So I can see what you're saying that Brentford are no mugs, and they've done well last 2 games against some good teams. They beat Chelsea. Who did they play? Who did they play before that? I mean, after that, they beat Chelsea, and then who did they beat? We'll get it up here. Beat West Ham. So yeah, decent teams. Brentford are no mugs, but for me, they concede goals. 2 against West Ham. Yes, they didn't concede against Chelsea. Didn't concede against Burnley. Conceded 2 against Man United. You got to be bad if you concede 2 against Man United. For me, Liverpool at home, I think is a good pick. But I can see why you're saying that. Brentford are no mugs, and that's your opinion. Let me know who you're captaining if you haven't already. K7, what do you think of Martinelli as captain? For me, personally, I'm not captain anyone that is not guaranteed to start. I can't deal with that stress. If you think he will start, then I think he's a really good captain if you think he will start. If you're not sure, nah, not for me. Stay well clear. If that makes sense. If you think he's going to start, then yeah, really good captain. If not for me. Quinton, I was tempted to go Kudus, but I think I'll go Matoma. I think Matoma is the safer pick. But both of their fixtures are not bad, and West Ham's fixtures look good, I guess, in the medium term as well, not just the short term. I'll quickly get a few up. So West Ham's fixtures, I don't mean to confuse you here if you've already made your decision, but Forest, Burnley, Palace, Spurs, Fulham, Wolves, and then they've got United, Arsenal, Bournemouth. Okay, that's I guess that's tough. Brighton, sorry, not Bournemouth. But up until game week 18, even Man United at home is not tough. Up until game week 19, even then, Sheffield United, Bournemouth, and then they've got the tougher games here. So really, you could hold West Ham players until game week 23. Then maybe you'll drop them for Old Trafford, Arsenal, etc. Some reason their fixtures do look really, really good. It's almost like they've played everyone already. So I guess they're a bit more long term. Whereas Brighton, you're probably looking at two game weeks. Okay, you can hold them through Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Burnley, but then they've got Arsenal away, then they've got Spurs, then they've got West Ham away. So it's a little bit trickier, I guess, medium term. But yeah, maybe Brighton are a better team than West Ham, even though they're not showing it at the moment. Matoma in for me, -4 this week with a few flags. Who's your other transfer, mate? That'd be good to know. If we win well against Luton, we may as well throw the season in. If we can win well against Luton, we may as well throw the season in. You mean if you can't win well, or you got to be beating Luton? I know Liverpool didn't last time out, and it was, I guess, a struggle for Spurs, but obviously Spurs had 10 men, and they haven't been doing too bad, to be honest, Luton, against the better teams. I think you will beat Luton. I can't see you battering Luton, but I think you will beat Luton. Matt, there's plenty of goals to be scored in these fixtures. Matt, I hope so. FPL Matt Day, definitely check out his channel. We normally go on each other's channels quite a lot, but there's got to be. Last game week was so bad, and it's not even like there wasn't goals. Like, if there was 0-0s here and there, then fair enough. But the game week actually wasn't that bad. Like, if we go back to it, okay, 1 goal in that game, 5 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, 7 goals, 3 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals, 2 goals, 5 goals. So a few games had 5 goals, 7 goals, 5 goals. So it's not too bad. It's just none of our players scored. Palmer was the only really, I guess, player that people own that scored. And obviously defenders like Trippier did well, Newcastle defence, anyone that had Man United defence as well. So yeah, it is a tricky one. Hopefully there's more goals. Hopefully it's goals from these players you see on screen here. Maybe a little Adingra hat trick would be nice. On the ball, morning, evening, lads. Hello, mate. Morning for you, yeah. Hopefully you're having a nice Saturday morning, cup of tea, little fry up. But yeah, check out On The Ball channel, some good content around just general football. So definitely check out On The Ball. Just saying hello to Matt here. Højbjerg is a goal threat when he wants to be. He showed that last season. Yeah, mate. I'll never forget the Champions League game. I can't remember who it was we're playing, but if we drew, we finished second. And if we won, we finished top. And he scored last minute. I remember I was working. Obviously, it was morning here in the UK because here in Australia, I think it was about 7 p.m. kickoff. Obviously the second half, and I was working from home, and I just started work about half an hour in. I was watching it on my phone. Don't tell, I'm left there now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I was watching it, and I just remember celebrating and jumping around at 8 in the morning. Højbjerg scoring, and that was a great finish as well. I do think he can do that role. He does it for his country as well. So I think even Basuma can do that role. So obviously, though, not to the level of Maddison, which is what we're talking about. But I do think Højbjerg will start this game week rather than risk Bentancur. But you can always obviously take off Højbjerg a little bit later on and bring on Bentancur. I just don't think Bentancur is ready to start just yet after coming back from that ACL. Yeah, big up On The Ball. Go check out their channel. I can't believe I'm writing this, but I bought in Harry Maguire. Know what though? It's not even a bad pick. Like, okay, it's Harry Maguire, but for the price, you're not going to be. We'll try and find him on here. Like for the price, it's actually not a bad pick. And with Man United's next 2 fixtures, I don't actually hate it that at all. I guess the good news for you is Evans is injured, so he'll be out this game week. So Varane will probably be playing next to Maguire, which can only be a good thing for Man United's defence. 4.2 million, kept the clean sheet last time out. We know he can score bullet headers, and with Luton at home, Everton away next 2, maybe you can bench him for the 2 after that, and then he's got Bournemouth. Maybe you can bench him. He's cheap enough to bench, so I actually don't hate that transfer. So for the next 2 game weeks, I think it is a good transfer. Who knows? Maybe he can even get a goal for you. Please make sure you do like this stream. It really does help me out. And subscribe if you are new as well. We'll keep going. So Blaine, cheers for your question. Do I bring in Saka? I think if you don't have another option, so we'll have a look at a few Maddison replacements. I think if you don't have another option, then yes, but I think he'll play. So first of all, I think he'll play, but I don't see the harm in waiting 1 more week. So if you don't have any other options, like you've already got Bowen, who else around that price point? Maybe you've already got Mbeumo, maybe you've already got Diaby, Gordon, Mitoma. Then I think Saka will play this game week, and for the long run, I think you're going to want Saka. So for me, if that is a question, do you bring in Saka this game week? For Maddison, yes. If you're taking out another player that is going to start, so I don't know who you would be taking out that might start, but if you're taking out a Bowen or another player that would start, then I'd think about it twice. But because it's for Maddison, I think Saka will play this game week. He might come off after 60 minutes, but I think he will play, and you're going to want him for the long run with Brentford away, Wolves, Luton, Villa, Bournemouth. Some really good fixtures for Arsenal. So for me, I would bring in Saka. Christian, so zero in the bank. OTDB. 0 in the bank, I think. Is that what that means? I'm not too sure what that means. Let me just Google it quickly. OTDB. I don't know why I'm thinking that means 0 in the bank, but what does OTDB stand for? I'm not sure. Let me know. Is that zero in the bank or something? Maguire not a bad option, in all honesty. Oh, on the ball. Sorry. Bloody hell, it's been a long week, I tell you. Yeah, so on the ball, Maguire not a bad option, in all honesty. He's shown great character when he's been given the chance this season. Yeah, that's fair enough. And I think with Varane next to him rather than Johnny Evans, I think that's got to benefit him, to be honest. So yeah, I completely agree. God, I can't believe I just thought that meant something else. That's funny. FPL Matt Day, hoping Trent plays CM with Gomez right back, Tsimikas left back. I think it is our option. I think Klopp came out. I'll just put the light on. I think Klopp did come out and say that Trent could play in the midfield. So I think it is an option. I'm not sure if he'll want to do that against Brentford, who are pretty physical. I don't know if they want to kind of throw Trent into the deep end like that. But it is an option. Even with Van Dijk, I've heard Van Dijk did come off injured or did miss the midweek game because he was injured. So that could mean Gomez plays there and Tsimikas plays left back. But like I said, I would play Tsimikas if I didn't have another option. I wouldn't be transferring him out. I wouldn't be taking the -4 and bringing in someone else so I don't have to play him. I would play him. It's just with my team, I have 3 better defenders, so I'm not too stressed. FPL Match Day, hit the subscribe button and like everyone. Cheers, mate. Yeah, please do that. That would be great. It really help out the channel. Also go check out FPL Match Day's channel as he does FPL content live streams. He's gonna be streaming soon. So I think if my time's right, he said he's gonna be streaming about in about an hour and a half. So once this is done, I think it's about that. Let me know, Matt, how long that is. My maths is a bit off with the time zones, especially as Australia's got like 5 different time zones. But yeah, go subscribe to that channel, FPL Matt Day's channel as well, and jump on his live stream when this is done. I think it's in about an hour or so. So FPL Logan Roy, I'm thinking Saka captain, vice captain on Haaland. Although I did say bring in Saka, for me, I think if he does start, which I think he will, I just don't think you can risk him coming off at 60 minutes if he's your captain. I think if Arsenal are going to be 2-0 up, 3-0 up, I think they'll be taking off Saka. There's no point in them risking him, playing him for more than he needs to be. So for that reason, I would not be captaining Saka, just because I think he will get taken off early if Arsenal are winning 2-3-0. But who knows? He could get a hat trick or 2 goals before that. So that doesn't even need to matter. So, but for me, I just want my player to be playing as many minutes as possible and hopefully 90 minutes. Christian, so captaincy is on Matoma right now. Love that. That's a big move, not going to lie. But the more I think about it, does De Zerbi do a Pep and bench Matoma this game week? You just never know with De Zerbi, to be honest. And he's a bit like Pep with the way he is rotating his squad, especially now they've got European football. They played midweek, and yeah, for me, it is always risky. But obviously, Matoma did come on earlier on in the season, and he did get a couple goals from the bench, I think. We'll just get that up. So there's always that, but obviously that's not something you want to rely on. Matoma coming off the bench to score 2 goals. Yeah, it was this game against Bournemouth, and it was at half-time he came off. So there's always a chance. But I think if you look at his minutes, Matoma, even with Europe, so 90, 90, 90, it was only that game in game week 6 where he came on at half-time. Before that, he played 90, and he played 80 in game week 2. So for me, I probably wouldn't worry about Matoma being benched. I think he's probably one of the only ones in that Brighton team that is most secure of his spot. But obviously, it is always a risk with De Zerbi and Pep and managers that love to rotate, especially as Brighton had the Europa. Are they in the Europa League? Or not Conference League midweek. So it was always a risk. But if you look at the stats and look at the times he's been rested, he's only been rested once this season. So, but who knows? FPL Match Day. I like the kudos pick Q. Yeah, no, I think it's a good pick. And I do like West Ham's fixtures for the next few game weeks. So I can see why people are going for West Ham options. That's why I did go for Bowen. I don't own Matoma, so I could have gone Matoma, but I do have a Dingra. So I don't know if I want to double up on Brighton midfield when they haven't won. They've won one in like 6-7 game weeks. So obviously the attack is different to if a team wins or not, but for me, and West Ham haven't been winning. They've lost 3 in a row, so both teams are in bad form. But I just like West Ham's fixtures a little bit more than Brighton's over the medium term. But I do think Matoma is a good pick too. FPL Match Day, Brighton need the points. Christian, in my opinion, form's been a bit patchy lately. Matoma will start. Yeah, that is very, very true. They've been shocking, to be honest. The last few game weeks, so have West Ham, and it's just mad that we're bringing in players from these teams, but the fixtures are so good, and the players have still been performing. Like I said with Bowen, 7 goals, 1 assist. West Ham have won 1 since game week 4. Was the last time they won before that one, and they've lost 5. Like, it's not like they've been drawing or winning the odd one. they've lost 5. Like it's ridiculous. So team in bad form, and you can't use the fixtures as the reason why, because yes, they had Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle, Villa are tough, fair enough. But Everton, Brentford away are tough, but you should be beating Everton at home. But with their fixtures coming up, surely you'd expect West Ham to turn it around. Same with Brighton. To be honest, I think Europe's taking its toll on them, but I think FPL Matt Day is 100% right. They can't afford to not win this game. They haven't won since game week 6. Again, toughest fixtures: Villa away, tough; Liverpool, City, but Fulham at home and Everton away. Their games Brighton should be winning, and I'm sure De Zerbi will be going mad about not winning them games, especially home game against Fulham. Fair enough, Goodison Park can be tough at times, but the home game against Fulham, Brighton should be winning that. So, yeah, I think Matt's got a really good point there. Can De Zerbi afford to not play his best team and yes, try and win the game? FPL Matt Day, Gordon will come in for my 5th mid pick ahead of 4.3 million mid. Okay, cool. So you're playing 3-4-3, right? So you'll have the option of I guess changing your formation depending on the game week. Is that right, Matt? Let me know in the comments. Predict if Luton are going to win. No, then KSI King. No, they're not going to win. If you are the real KSI, just to let you know that FPL, your FPL team is no good. If you are the real KSI, yeah, you need to keep watching this channel, subscribe to this channel, and also just to let you know that you will lose your mini league against one of the FPL community on Twitter. I'll just get it up now. We'll try and find it. But yeah, if you are the real KSI, subscribe to the channel. Christian, I agree, Matt, but the nightmare of Matoma benching is in my mind. Yeah, but you're going to have that with anyone. And I do get what you're saying. Like, De Zerbi and Pep. De Zerbi and Pep are so bad for it. So to give you my theory around this sort of stuff, and it's my same theory as Tsimikas, is why I'm not starting him. I don't want that stress. Like I'm here to enjoy this game. I don't want to stress that Tsimikas is being benched and coming on for a 1-pointer. I don't need that in my life. So although I think Matoma will start, I think if you're thinking about the nightmare of Matoma being benched, then don't go through that stress. Just don't captain him. Does that make sense? Like, I think you just got to do what's good for your mental health sometimes. Like, I know I'm going to be stressed out if Tsimikas doesn't start. So that's the reason I've benched him. I got 3 better defenders as well, I think. But you could argue that Tsimikas is better than one of them at least. I just don't think it's worth the stress, mate. So if you're having doubts, swap it. True, mate. De Zerbi roulette. Marseille away it was. Yeah, that's a tough away game as well. It's not an easy one. So yeah, it could be rotation, but I do think he'll start, especially with the international break coming up. Like they only need to get through one more game. So yeah, you can see why I think Matoma will start. Thomas Emery, is Captain Gordon madness or a great differential? I think this week nothing is madness, to be honest. But maybe a little bit madness. We'll have a look at Gordon here. I did speak about it earlier, but we'll have a look at Gordon. I actually think Gordon's a really, really good pick in general. Captain, I think, is a little bit madness. I know why people are going for him, because obviously Wilson is probably out. Isak is out. He'll probably play up front and could be on penalties, 5.8 million. But for me, I've said this a few times, I want my captain to 1, be on penalties guaranteed, to 2, have a lot of double-digit hauls in them. Yes, he's got 1 against Sheffield United and 1 against Liverpool. So completely understand that he has got it in him. But if you look at the last few fixtures, it's an assist here, a goal here, a goal here. I don't think he has that clinical edge. And yes, Bournemouth is a good game, but it is away from home as well. I just think there are better captain options out there, but I don't think it is a mad pick, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's a great differential either, but I don't think it is a mad pick, especially in this game week where there's no absolute clear captaincy pick. Last week there were clear captaincy picks, right? So you had Salah with Bournemouth Haaland with Bournemouth at home, Salah with Luton away. So they were clear better than the rest. This game week, you don't have that. I think Salah is the best. Then I think Haaland is the best. Then maybe Watkins. But there's no clear 2 or 1 captaincy option. So in terms of that, it could be a good differential. Yeah. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, that's a stinker. No one clipped that up. FPL Match Day OTDB is on the ball. Yeah, cheers. Cheers, mate. I don't know how I got that wrong, to be honest. No, Christian, it's not lazy. It's just me. Trust me, I'm just knackered. I've spent the weekend or the week in Brisbane. Went to a gig on Thursday. Had a few late nights, so it's probably me. I'm just a bit knackered. Lost my marbles a little bit. At least it made everyone laugh. That's a good thing. Send through your questions. I'm probably going to be logging off soon. Matt, FPL Match Day is doing a stream 1 hour before the deadline. So in about an hour and 20 minutes, if that's right, Matt. If you're when I'm done here, definitely go check out FPL Match Day's channel. Go subscribe now as well, and put a notify me on his channel. So Team Alex, I'm going to do Doku. I think he's first choice. Who are you taking out? That'll be good to know who you're taking out. I think Doku is first choice. I just think Jack Grealish played against Man United away. Does that mean he's going to play against Chelsea away? Is he the tougher fixtures player, whereas Doku plays against the lesser teams? For me, though, if you're thinking about Doku as overall option, I think there are better options out there that are going to play consistently. Obviously not in a better team, as you can't really get much better than Man City, but I think they're going to play consistently, are going to be the main guy in their team. You know they're going to play 90 minutes. Maybe someone like Jared Bowen, like Matoma, like even Diaby could be a better option. But I do like the Doku pick. Just be careful that you're not kind of knee-jerking and you're not being reactionary to his haul, who was against Bournemouth at home. I'd probably take it. Just let me know who you're taking out. I think you let me know here, actually. So Douglas Luiz out. I think that's fair enough. I think that's a good move. Douglas Luiz does have good fixtures, but I'd say Doku is a bigger goal threat. So I think that's a good move. Johnny, hey mate, need help? Yeah, cool. What do you need, mate? Darwin, Saka, and Son. Bench 1, play 2. Whoa, mate, that is rough. I'd play Son. I think I'd play Son and Saka. But that is rough. What is your team like? Why do you have to do that? Let me know what your team's like, because that is a rough decision. I think you've got to look at it as Son's going to play, and is probably going to play 90 minutes with all the injuries. Yes, they're not in attacking positions, but we want to keep some players that are in our first team on the pitch. So I think Son, you have to play. Then it's just a toss-up of, is Darwin going to be benched versus is Saka fit? For me, I'd probably just risk it and play Saka because he does have a slightly better fixture than Darwin. But yeah, what is your team if you're going to have to bench one of them? Let me know, Johnny. Christian, I'll be watching the Matt Day stream too, as I decide if I should bring in and captain Bentancur ahead of ahead of Matoma for ultimate risk reward. Oh mate, love it. I love it. I think your team is my favorite team. Like I just love your team, especially when Spurs are doing well. Like even when they're not doing well, I feel like you've had a Spurs triple up when under Conte, towards the end of Conte. So I actually love it. I know what there's nothing I'd enjoy more than if you captain Bentancur and he scores a hat trick. Honestly, I would actually love that. So I think go for it, mate. if you think Bentancur is going to do well, but that would be jokes. I'd love to see if I'll be joined into that stream as well. But I'd love to see if Matt, if Matt Day, FPL Matt Day, talks you out of it, or he spurs you on. But honestly, if Bentancur, if you do captain Bentancur and he scores a hat trick or something, oh, that would be what a moment that would be. Mustafi Amer, Saka, Saka, and Saka. Thank you, mate. Johnny. So your team is Diaby, Bowen, Salah, Saka or Son, and then Ferguson, Watkins, Darwin. Bloody hell! How do you have that? Oh, you got no Haaland. Okay, and then that's why you've got that decision. Yeah, that is tough, to be honest. I'd probably bench Ferguson, to be honest with you. But if you don't want to and you're thinking Saka, Son, Darwin, then I'd probably bench Darwin. To be honest, I think they're better fixtures for Saka. Son's going to play 90 minutes. I think he's playing up front. He's going to be on penalties. And then Darwin and Saka. I think Saka's got the better fixture. Saka's on penalties probably if Odegaard's still being benched, being dropped. So for me, I'd probably play Son and Saka, but maybe look at Ferguson as well. Christian, Saka v Darwin, flip of a coin. Yeah, and it is close, but I think I'd just go for Saka if he is going to be fit. That is. Pranav, so 1 free transfer. Areola, Turner, Trippier, Walker, Anderson, Lamptey, Cash, Son, Salah, Maddison, Diaby, Bowen, Alvarez, Darwin, Watkins. Should I bench Alvarez or Walker? So I think for this game week, I think you should be playing Areola, Trippier, Anderson, Cash, Son, Salah, Diaby, Bowen, Alvarez, Darwin, Watkins. Yeah. So I'd bench Walker over Alvarez. I think you can. To be honest, I think with how your team's set up, with how strong, first of all, with you playing 3-4-3, you've got 3 forwards that you can play. I don't think you need to be taking out Maddison. I would roll the transfer, go into after the international breaks with 2 transfers. Yes, you can take out Maddison then, but then you have more of an idea. You know if Saka is going to be back from injury. You know if Jesus or Nketiah is back, so you kind of know the way Arsenal will line up, especially with how good their fixtures are coming up as well. You can go someone like I don't know who you can go for. You can go for a Brennan Johnson if Spurs still look good under Ange with no Maddison. So I think I'd roll and I'd bench Kyle Walker. Jono against yeah, I know it is rough. But I think that's a tough decision, to be honest, mate. I think Christian's right. Saka and Darwin are flip of a coin. Maybe even add Ferguson into that. I guess that's the problem with having no Haaland, is the rest of your team's so good that sometimes you might get a bit of a benching headache. Pranav, should I play Darwin captain as a differential? No, I would not. I would not captain Darwin. I think it's too risky. I think he will play, but he's not on penalties. He will get taken off. We'll have a look quickly. He will get taken off at some point, I'd assume, especially with Jota being back, Diaz. We'll get Darwin up. So yeah, so Darwin. So okay, played 90 last time out, then 80, 28 minutes, 90, 80, 34, 64, 13. So okay, he has. Okay, let's look at the last 4 games then. Yeah. Okay, 90, 30, 80, 90. Okay, he played 90 in the last 2, so he could be an option. For me, though, he's not on penalties. I think captain Salah, if you got Salah and you fancy that fixture. Darwin didn't play midweek. Okay, that is an option, but I don't think Salah played midweek either. And if you do have Salah, then I'd go Salah captain. Wow, what a lineup! Thanks, mate. No worries. Cheers. Pranav. So Chelsea at home, lost message, giving up clean sheets. I'd be crying if Walker scored a clean sheet and Alvarez blanked. I'm confused. Go Walker then. Go Walker. For me, I'd always go the attacker, but if you think Walker is the better option, then go Walker. I don't hate that at all. I just would always go for the attacker. I think you've got more chance of getting points. You've got chance of getting more points as well. I'd always go the attacker, but completely up to you. Johnny. So City and Liverpool struggled against Wolves, so I'm going to bench Son. Yeah, fair enough. Wolves do look good this season. I just think Son is going to play 90 minutes. I think he does better away from home. He's going to be on penalties. Spurs haven't lost. Okay, they've lost Maddison's creativity, but in terms of the front 3 and the midfield, that's all they've kind of lost. It's only the defense that is looking really, really bad. So, but I completely see why Wolves are a decent team this season. Dr. K34. My team: Cass, Mitchell, Bayer, Simicast, Shah, Diaby, Gordon, Saka, Salah, Jensen. Any suggestions? What are you asking, mate? Who you should bench? If it is that, then I'd probably start Cash, Mitchell, Simicast. Cash, Mitchell, Shah, Diaby, Gordon, Saka, Salah, Jensen. I'd always start the forward. You could go Simicast over Jensen, maybe, if that's what you're asking. I'm not too sure, though. Wow, yeah. Start Archer or Simicast? For me, I'd always start the forward. I'd probably start Archer. Pranav, I'm bored of captaining Salah. Like I'm going to get green arrows. I'm happy, but I want some fun in this game. You know what? Go for it. It's all about, this is a game. Like, just go for what you think, to be honest. If I was talking about this earlier with Christian, that owning players that you're going to enjoy watching makes such a difference. I don't want to be watching these boring players. Like, it's like people were saying, even last season, watching Jack Grealish, like, unbelievable player, don't get me wrong, but watching Jack Grealish play is completely different to watching someone like Doku play. Doku's so exciting. He's going to take people on. Even like Darwin Núñez is going to get chances. Okay, he's going to miss quite a lot of chances, but he's going to get chances. I'd rather watch someone attacking play and someone that is exciting play. So I completely understand what you're going for. So just go with what you're thinking and what makes you happy, to be honest. And that's kind of my point on the benching a defender benching a forward for a defender. For me, I'd rather have a defender. I'd rather have a forward and wanting the forward to score points rather than waiting for a clean sheet, waiting for 6 points. I'd rather have the ability to get 15 points, 20 points. So for that reason, I completely understand your point of view there. Pranav, is Neto back for Wolves? I don't think he is back yet, but definitely keep an eye on Twitter for that one. See if we get any news. But I don't think he's going to be back until after the international break. Arvid, so who should I captain, Højlund or Gordon, or should I play it safe and take Salah? I don't have Haaland. I would go Salah. Out of them two, though, I'd probably go Gordon. I just don't trust Manchester United at the moment. Yes, they scored goals in the Champions League, but I think they struggled in the Premier League, and Luton did do well defensively against Liverpool as well. Pranav, Tottenham got totally broken. They shouldn't have gone too physical. I'll take a loss rather than 4 injuries on my team. Yeah, that's fair enough. But it's not even about the injuries really. It's obviously the suspensions. Romero was stupid. Udogie was stupid, but he's young, so you gotta, I guess, leave him a bit. But we were going too aggressive. We were in control of that game. I'm a Spurs fan, so we were in control of that game. We were battering Chelsea. It could have been 2-0, 3-0 before the sending off. If we just kept 11 players on the pitch, I think we would have won that game 3-0. If we kept 10 players on the pitch, I think we would have won that game too. So, yeah, I completely agree. DRK, any transfers required? No, I don't think so. I think you have enough covered there for a good team this game week. So, yeah, I would probably roll a transfer if you have one. SJ, can you pick 3 defenders for this game week? Simicast, Porro, Cash, Aguard, and Kufal. I'd probably go Kufal, Cash, and Porro. I think the attacking threat from Porro is going to be massive. I don't think Spurs will keep a clean sheet though, so that is something to take into mind. But and I like Kufal as a good option with Forest at home. So I'd probably go for Porro, Cash, and Kufal. If you're still on the stream, please make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'll just answer the last few questions. And yeah, drop your questions in now before I head off. This is my first season. I blundered this season by getting a 60 overall transfer hit till now. I was with 0 at Game Week 8 and wildcarded chaos. Oh, mate, that is funny. No, but it's all about making these mistakes in your first season so you can learn and come back next season and yeah, do well. But I've got a, I'm sure you know now anyway, 11 game weeks in, but I've got a how to play video that might help. I'm sure you know how to play now. It's game week 12, but I'll send it to you 1 minute. See if I can send it in the chat. And I've also got one about like top tips, so it gives you like a few tips on some of the basics of what I like to go for. So what sort of players to be picking. 1 minute, I'll quickly send you the link. Yeah, I'll drop the link in the comment section. And there's also a kind of top tips on my channel as well, where I just talk about some of the kind of best players to play. So yeah, definitely check that out. That'll be helpful. Arvid, one thing. Wait, let's get it up. One thing I've done this season is Captain Lindelof, and he has been helpful. I got 18 points off him when Haaland blanked and Salah. So should I do it again? What a question, mate. Wow. Captain Lindelof, when did he get? Don't you think Varane and Maguire will play though this game week? Do you think Lindelof is going to be playing? Let's check out Lindelof. Sorry, that is a lovely story if that did happen. Let me get out Lindelof. Do you think Lindelof will play? Yeah. You don't think Varane will play next to Maguire? Yeah. When did Lindelof get 18 points? Is Captain Lindelof and he has been helpful. I got 18 points. Right, I'm not too sure where Lindelof got 18 points, but did you triple captain him in a game week or something? But yeah, let me know in the comments anyway. Maddison has become the core of the team, the creator, the controller. I'm guessing Son will be back to his old position now. 100%. Yeah, Maddison's going to be such a huge miss. Son will carry on playing number 9. I think because Brennan Johnson will have that left wing spot nailed. So for me, I don't think Son will be going out on the left. I think he'll stay up front. I think Johnson will play left wing and Kulusevski right wing. So the front three, I think, will stay the same. So hopefully that means creativity doesn't get too lost. We could also see, maybe not now, but we could see Kulusevski play number 10 and then kind of Brian Hill or someone like that come in on the right wing. But I can't see that happening. Thanks, mate. I watched the video. Maybe I learned a few things. Yeah, mate. Definitely give it a check it out. There's also a top tips one where I talk about what sort of players to transfer, like set piece takers, talisman, etc. Check that one out as well. What are your thoughts on no Haaland teams and strong bench dilemmas? For me, I don't think having no Haaland benefits the team that much. I think, yeah, like you said, it gives you benching headaches. Haaland is the best goal scorer in the league, and I think he'll get the most points in the league. So, yes, he's 14 million or whatever. I think no Haaland is a bit ludicrous, to be honest. So, I'd probably have Haaland in my team, and that's why I do have Haaland in my team. Yeah, I'm not too sure where this 18 Lindelof come from because I couldn't find him. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. Let me know where and what game week you did captain Lindelof in. Hello, Essex. No worries, mate. I'm probably going to be logging off now. I know it's a bit early. I'm guessing you're from Essex, a bit early in the UK for you. So no worries. We'll catch you next week. And yeah, rewind it if you want. We had some good questions. Go through my team, my transfers. But I'm probably going to be logging off now. But yeah, cheers for tuning in anyway. Pranav Kulusevski is 10. I'd be happy if he never scores. He always waits to make assists. Mate, that honestly, so true. So many times I'm like, hit it, and he just passes it. But yeah, like you said, number 10 could be an option. I just think we don't have that right wing, have anyone for that right wing. We've got this young Argentinian guy, is it Velez or something like that? Who could play up front or play there. So, but I don't think Andrew want to do that at the moment. It's going to be a completely new team already. I don't think he's going to want to mess with the front three. I think he'll just keep it as it is and then maybe bring Højbjerg in to just solidify that that midfield three and maybe even Højbjerg can play a bit further forward. Arvid, I meant 12 with the captain. Sorry for confusion, but I should not captain him then. I wouldn't captain Lindelof. I'd always go for a midfielder or forward. I think defenders, you're limited to a clean sheet. Yes, he probably did outscore Haaland that game week, but sometimes he's going to get a 2 point and Haaland's going to get 2-3 goals. So for me, I wouldn't be captaining Lindelof this week. That was it for this stream. Cheers everyone for tuning in. Please make sure you do like this video and leave a comment after the stream is finished, as that really does help out this video too. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'll be answering any questions that you do leave in the comments after the stream is done as well. So definitely drop them comments in. And yeah, good luck for the game week. Hopefully we score some good points and better than last week as well. So I'll catch you lot in next week's videos. We're posting videos, 2 to 3 videos every week, and hopefully a live stream every week as well. Yeah, smash a like and leave a comment after the stream is done, as it really does help out the video. So yeah, good luck for the game week. I wish you lot all the best and thanks for
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.